It's morning in Los Angeles and it's morning in America. Today is Wednesday, November the 25th. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is my morning political thought. All right. This is going to be kind of short today because I'm pressed for time. But I will cover one side news story because if you remember last week, I had said I feel like something will happen next week, either right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving. Well, today is Wednesday, which is right before Thanksgiving. And then I open up my email this morning and I see this article. And let me go ahead and just bring this article on up right here. And this is at the Epic Times. And it says, and this was an article from yesterday. It says Sidney Powell filing Georgia lawsuit on Wednesday. It says attorney Sidney Powell, who had worked with President Donald Trump's legal team, will be filing a significant lawsuit in Georgia related to election fraud, according to Atlanta-based attorney and outspoken conservative Lynn Wood, who has filed lawsuits in support of the president. I have worked closely with Sidney Powell and others over recent weeks. He wrote on Twitter on Tuesday, the lawsuit Sidney will be filing tomorrow in Georgia speaks truth. And truth was in capital letters. So today's Wednesday. I don't know if she's filed it yet. Haven't checked. But if she hasn't, she's supposed to. And if she has, here we are the day before Thanksgiving. Like I said last week, I was like, I feel like something's going to happen right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving. I said it last week. I don't know what episode it was on, but I said it. It says, enemies of America will deny its allegations. Do not believe them. Believe Sidney and me. We love America and freedom. Our enemies do not, added Wood, who represented a number of clients such as John Bonet, Ramsey's parents, Herman Cain, ex-representative Gary Condit, and Richard Jewell. Powell, who successfully represented former Trump National Security Advisor Lieutenant General Flynn, has not immediate. Speaking of, and I'm stepping away from this article for a second. People are saying that President Trump is about to pardon General Flynn, which he should, because that whole situation has become a circus. But yeah, just for those who may not know, President Trump said he's about to pardon General Flynn, or though that's what's circulating around. Not President Trump himself, but that's what's circulating around. All right. They didn't respond to a request for comment following Wood's tweet. It's unclear what the lawsuit will entail. Wood's comment comes several days after Trump lawyers Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis said Powell is not working with the campaign, and Trump announced she would be joining his campaign efforts last week, and Powell appeared alongside Giuliani Ellis. Yeah, we already know that stuff. I'm not even going to go into that. We know what the deal is. Point is, she's supposed to be filing it today. So this is going to be interesting. So now people will get to see what's in the lawsuit that everyone's been asking about. And that's going to be that. So it will be interesting. How the judge treats it, we'll see. I forgot what circuit Georgia falls under, though. I want to say Clarence Thomas. But yeah, check into that. See, I mean, obviously you have the resources too. You can see what Supreme Court justice the state of Georgia falls under, because each circuit falls under certain justices, and the justices were just reassigned. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. But as for that's the side news story. Sidney Powell is supposed to be filing her lawsuit today in Georgia. And I remember her saying during the Newsmax interview that Georgia was the state that she wanted to blow up first. So we're going to see what happens. As for my morning political thought, this is just really, really quick. Alyssa Milano tweeted last night something to the effect of, I'm extending an olive branch to Trump supporters We need to move forward together. This is the time to heal. Blah, 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 blah. And someone said, okay, we're going to screenshot this and remind you that you said this after Trump is inaugurated again on January 20th. And people were like, oh my gosh, the delusion. You don't realize that Trump is lost and everything else. Okay, what people don't realize right now, the difference between the 2016 election and the difference between the 2020 election is that President Trump didn't cheat in the 2016 election. That's the thing. If President Trump cheated, even though they tried to say he was a Russian agent for 4 years, and anybody who does their research can see that was a bunch of BS. So, for that part, but he didn't cheat. And he didn't cheat so obviously, where people, all of the stuff, all of these, what they call irregularities, I call it voter fraud and election fraud, but they call it irregularities, but fine. All of these irregularities that happened on the night of, and I can't even say of the election, because in a lot of states, the election wasn't even one day. The election went over over the 4th and the 5th and the 6th. And I'm like, wait a second, what, hold on. I don't get it. I thought the election was supposed to be on one day. We're just extending it out in states. Okay, that's what we do. Oh, all right. I don't know where it said that in the Constitution, but whatever works. So out of all these I can't get it out now. Irregularities. There we go. Got tongue-tied. Irregularities. Out of all these irregularities that happened, fraud, you just think people are going to be like, oh, it's going to be easy breezy. No. We're going to expose the fraud. That's the goal, to expose the fraud. If something really happened during the 2016 election, wouldn't it have been exposed? Wouldn't people have been able to dig up all of this stuff? I even remember, as a matter of fact, now, and this is another thing, how it goes to show what people will make up. Do you remember Omarosa? Which I like her on a business level, but on a not personality level, how can I say this? On I don't want to say personal level because I don't know her personally, but on how she does things on a personal level. There we go. I don't agree with. And she said there was this tape of President Trump saying bad things about black people. Where was that tape at during this election? Where was the tape at? There was no October surprise. There was nothing. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but she's like, yeah, there's this tape where he's saying bad stuff about black. I'm like, okay. That'll be interesting when the 2020 election comes up. Didn't happen. And just like with the 2016 election, if there was this infamous tape of President Trump doing what they said he was doing in the tape, don't you think that would have popped up during the October surprise, like the Access Hollywood tape? If this tape existed? I mean, really, it was clear that certain parties did not like President Trump within the United States government. They have the access to get what they need to get when they need to get it. They could have easily got that and put it on out there. But they couldn't get it because it didn't exist. So President Trump won the 2016 election fair and square. He won the 2020 election fair and square. This, as they say, was theft in broad daylight, even though it hasn't been certified yet. But what's happening right now was theft in broad daylight. And it amazes me how people are just like, oh, you're delusional. There's no way Trump can win. And oh, well, it's looking really, really bad. And the GSA has started the transition process. So, but the difference is with Hillary Clinton, she actually lost. America didn't vote for her. Well, some people did. But electorally, America didn't vote for her. So whatever hopes they had, there wasn't anything there. There wasn't any Hail Mary that could be thrown. In this case, in the 2020 election, it's clear electorally and actually by popular vote too, it seems. America voted for President Trump. Because of that, that means that this does not end until January 20th. That's what that means. And people, it's not registering with people. And these lawsuits move slow sometimes. And lawsuits are being filed all over the place. A few, and I want to emphasize the word a few, have been filed by the Trump campaign. Many have been filed by other parties. I've seen stuff, I've seen some video footage of this woman. She was out of Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. It was a black woman. And she was talking about how they were overriding. They said overwriting, but I believe she was saying overriding, like you're overriding the computer system. Where if it was a Republican ballot, they would type something at the table and overwrite it to change it to Democrat, which makes sense because if the ballot is ever scanned wrong, then you have to do an override to get it to show correctly. But she said at a particular table, this was a witness, this woman was a witness, at a particular table, that's all they were doing. They just kept overriding votes. And she's a witness. So for those who think Joe Biden has won, and you're talking about let's move forward and unity and all this stuff, I hope you remember all the stuff you're saying. If and when, more than likely when, it comes back that President Trump has a second term. This is the difference between the 2016 and the 2020 election. Hillary Clinton didn't win, and there wasn't any cheating. President Trump won during 2020, and he won during 2016, but he won during 2020, and there was cheating on the other side. It's clear. And that's my morning political thought. That's all I have. Thank you guys. ThePurpleElephantShow.com, main podcasting platform. The Purple Elephant Show on Parler, the free speech platform. If you're watching this on BitChute, YouTube, or Daily Motion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button followed by notification bell. That will let you know when I upload new videos. Until next time, and I will do an episode tomorrow during Thanksgiving as well. So yeah, I'm doing an episode tomorrow. Until next time, love you guys. Be blessed.